Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Kevin, and in today's video I want to talk about whether it matters what type of equipment you actually use at the gym. Now, in all honesty, any type of equipment that you actually use at the gym is gonna serve the same purpose regardless. You're just trying to work out a specific muscle group, and that's really that.
However,
some equipment is a little bit different than others and serve slightly different purposes and work in slightly different ways. Now, it also does depend what experience level you have, because in my opinion, if you're a beginner, then I would say it doesn't matter at all what equipment you use. I think the most important thing is just to simply get in the gym and just start working out and see how far you can get with that. Because when you're a beginner, no matter what you do, you're probably going to make some sort of progress as long as your eating habits are somewhat in check. And this is when you're going to see the most gains. So it really doesn't matter what gym equipment you specifically use, as long as you're actually in the gym and putting in work. Now, if you're a little bit more advanced, the equipment that you actually use may slightly make a difference in not only the way you feel, but maybe the gains that you actually make. Now, as far as how you actually feel, typically people seem to like machines more because they're more stable and they don't require as much body movement. Whereas some things like barbells and dumbbells and other free weight equipment may require more energy and you may have to actually put in more work, and some people just don't like it as much. But on the contrary, some people do like barbells and dumbbells and other free weight equipment a lot more because it actually allows for more freedom in your movement, whereas in a machine, you're more stagnant and you kind of have to conform to whatever the machine is built to be used for. Additionally, when it comes to machines, it's actually a lot more easy to overload the weight and increase the weight and increase how difficult it is to do the certain exercise with the machine. Whereas with free weights, it's kind of a little bit more difficult and you might hit a limit. Also, I forgot to mention that the last equipment that you can actually use is literally just your body, and this is the freest of free weight equipments. And basically, this can include exercises such as push-ups and planks, for example, where you're not really using anything external but your body. And obviously, you could make those exercises and other free body exercises weighted as well to make them more difficult. But the point is that at the base and at the core, you don't really use any weight for those exercises. And some people like these the most. People tend to like these exercises a lot because they claim that they are really difficult and they generally tend to work on more than one body part. So they actually end up being compound exercises usually, regardless of what exercise you're actually doing. For example, if you're doing push-ups, that's mainly going to work your chest, but obviously it's also going to work your core because you have to keep yourself stable, and it's obviously going to use your shoulders and your triceps as well. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for how you feel in terms of what gym equipment you actually use. You should probably end up just using what feels the best to you and what you're most comfortable with and what you think you can stay the most consistent with, most importantly. Now, as far as the different gains that these machines provide and these equipments provide, I'm not entirely sure on this, but I don't think there would be too much of a difference as long as you're actually shredding your muscles and allowing them to regrow bigger and stronger. And also, if you guys have been super consistent with an exercise, obviously every once in a while you want to try and switch it up and try using different equipment to target the same muscles. Because if you're constantly doing the same exercise with the same equipment all the time, every time, for one, it's probably going to get boring. And for two, maybe switching it up could actually provide you gains. I'm not entirely sure on that. I don't know if that's even proven. But again, you can just test it out and see if it makes a difference, because it's not going to hurt you at the end of the day. You're still getting your exercise in and you're still going to be targeting the same muscle group regardless of what gym equipment you actually use. There are some special circumstances, however, where you might want to use certain equipment over others. So for example, let's take the Romanian deadlift. If you want to do Romanian deadlift with dumbbells, you're going to have to go pretty heavy if you're more intermediate or advanced, and that can get pretty annoying. Whereas if you did the same Romanian deadlift exercise with barbells, you could go heavy much easier because all you have to do is just load up the plates onto the barbell, and it's a lot easier to overload the weight on a barbell than with dumbbells. Or for example, let's take squats. If you want to squat with dumbbells, you're not really going to be able to produce as much of an output in comparison to the power that you can produce when squatting on a barbell rack, for example. These are just some things to consider, but again, ultimately, it's not too big of a deal. Really, your main focus should just be to actually get in the gym and just get in your exercise. Otherwise, it's not really going to matter if you do your shoulder presses on a barbell or on a dumbbell or on some sort of a machine. Whatever feels the most comfortable to you and whatever you feel like you can be most consistent with is exactly what you should be doing. And on top of that, every once in a while, you want to try and switch it up just to make sure that you don't get super bored, because this can actually really harm you in a way and affect your lifting and affect your mental game when it comes to the gym. And you can also just check and see and test and experiment around and see if maybe you get different gains with doing exercises with different equipment. Maybe your body reacts to it differently. Who knows? Maybe you're better at it and you're able to progressively overload with those equipments better. Again, who knows? Just try it out and see what happens. But yeah, guys, that's probably gonna do it for this video. Really, you guys just want to pick your equipment based on availability and how convenient it is to you and what you can stay most consistent with. If you guys have any questions, drop them down in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!